welcome back to my YouTube channel. Really appreciate you being here. It means a lot. So the other day, the Current, it's Carmel paper? Yeah, the Current put out an article stating blue wave through Carmel, big question mark. Unfortunately, I think I threw the article away, but what it was getting at, in essence, was that there's a growing number of blue voters that are moving to Carmel, and a lot of Republican voters have been complacent in voting in the general election. They typically show up to vote in the primary and then don't show up for general. So there's been a big suggestion that that might happen, and if it does, then Democrats might end up taking over. I just want to say I don't think that that's going to happen at all. I've got this software program that I spent quite a lot of money on to just kind of illustrate. So this, I'm not sure if you can see. Oh, you can see my cursor. Cool beans. So basically I have it set to Carmel, Indiana, and out of everybody in Carmel that is registered to vote, which I think was like 76,000 people, of those who are more likely to vote, 60% or more likely to vote, there are 48,297. Now, obviously, this number can fluctuate over time. Actually, just changed recently when I checked it today. But it also generates numbers based on voting habits. So, for example, political affinity. This is a rough estimate, but 0 to 30 is typically anybody who is left or Democrat, and of that number, 10,601 are 60% or more likely to vote that probably fall in that Democrat category. So if we look at another group, so political affinity, so 31 to 69 would be independent, nonpartisan. So, oops, there we go, 69, there we go. So last time we had a little over 10,000. This time we've got 9,185. So right around 9,000. And then if we go to Republican, which Republican would be 70% and up. Those people, we have 28,000. So if every single independent and Democrat voted, they would have 19,000, and the Republicans would have 28,000. So the math just isn't there. The odds of a Democrat getting in is super unlikely. I've heard some people raise a concern like, well, what if you split the Republican ticket? Well, that's fair. If I split the Republican ticket, then you would have, 14,000 Republicans. So exactly in half. If I split the Republican ticket exactly in half, that way it's the smallest possible numbers on both ends, you'd have 14,000 votes to Democrats, 10,000. We would still be outnumbering Democrats by 4,000 on each side. So then it would come down to the independent voters, and if I'm on the ballot as a third-party independent candidate, I will probably take most of the independent votes as well. So the odds are not looking good. So the concern of like, oh, will there be a Democrat? I just don't see it. So the biggest thing that Democrats need to rely on for a blue wave to take effect is for the general election to be a no-show. And, oh gosh, I would say probably 80 to 90% of the people that I talk to that actually take the time to sign my petition, they've all been saying like, oh yeah, I'm definitely voting this election cycle. Out of all the people who signed and were like, yeah, I don't know, I might vote, I might not, still undecided, that was like less than a dozen. So fewer than 12. And, oh, quick update on numbers. I, as of today, have 523 signatures. As far as people who said that they're open to voting for me, I admittedly, for the past week, have been forgetting to ask probably half the people I've talked to. So of my official, like checked it in front of their face, check my tally mark, I was at, I think, 325, although I'm pretty certain I'm definitely north of that by a pretty fair margin. But I don't want to just start checking off names for the sake of it. I think once I'm done with This current phase of getting signatures and I start moving forward, what I'm going to do is just ask people like, hey, would you be open to voting for me? And I don't have to worry about getting signatures. And then I'll start keeping a much more accurate tally at that point. So anyway, yeah, I really appreciate you jumping in. So thank you so much for watching. I just realized I could probably go back to chatting. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all joining in. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment on the video. I will see that and respond back to it. Yeah, as always, stay classy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.